Good morning. It's Thursday morning. I have not vlogged all week because most of the meetings I had this week were confidential. But today is going to be incredible. Heading now to Innoviz, one of the leading companies in the LiDAR space for autonomous driving, autonomous cars. Meeting the CEO Omer, who's just a legend. Never met him in real life. Super pumped about that. And then I'm meeting Ziv Elul, who basically was my first boss in tech, who I basically owe my whole career to. He just sold his company yesterday. The deal closed for $600 million. The guy's super humble, so I'm not sure I'll be able to get him on camera, but I'm gonna try because I love the guy and I've learned so much from him. So that's gonna be great. And then weekend, and next week is my daughter's bat mitzvah, so that's gonna be amazing. All in all, it's a pretty great week. Let's do this. Oh, one last thing. Gal Frankel, the CEO of the company Robodeck that I went to meet yesterday, picked up his new Tesla last night, and his first stop here. He came here last night, let me drive the Model 3 for the first time. That was amazing. Joseph, roll that video. Oh my God! Oh my goodness! To Rosh Hashanah, where I used to work like 10 years ago. I haven't been here seriously in 10 years. Going to Innoviz. It is very, very, very hot here. Very excited to meet this company though, and Omer, the CEO. I think they just went public a couple of weeks ago. Just a very cool company and long overdue meeting.
So this is an award we got from the Ayn Rand organization. It's Atlas. They make the sculpture is actually quite famous. It was made by Richard Elmins, and he makes this every year. And they choose one startup in Israel that is carrying the weight.
Who else got it in the past?
So if I remember correctly, I think Zebra Medical.
I love Zebra.
And Move It.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I just posted about 10 minutes ago about Move It.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Good. There's a lot of awards. A lot of awards. Love it. Okay. What am I looking at here? What is this?
Oh, this is just a demonstration. You can see here, you can see this person here, and you don't really see it here. So this is a good example of, how a LiDAR can provide you much better understanding of the scene.
And radar.
And radar, of course. You can see the high resolution.
This is what? What's this up here?
This is a camera.
Just a regular camera. It's dark, so you can't see anything.
You can see here, this is coming from the LiDAR.
That's awesome. Got it.
This is actually a 3D. You can actually see things from the top. It's.
All right, let's go to the garage.
Here you actually can see this is our clean room. So we developed MEMS chips. So it's an optical chip. So you can see all the wafers sorted there. So whenever we get new wafers, we test it. It's for R&D development. We continue to develop the technology for the next generations.
Amazing. You have cars in here?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm getting excited, man. Holy cow. Holy smokes. Okay, we are in the geekiest place ever right now. It actually very much reminds me of the garage at Mobileye. Actually, it looks the same, but anyway, okay. First of all, this company that I'm at right now, Innoviz, breaks every rule. Breaks every rule in the book. Let's start from the beginning. Who are you? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Omer Keilaf. I'm a founder, co-founder, and CEO of Innoviz.
Okay, let's try. I have a challenge for you. You ready? Explain to me what Innoviz is in 20 seconds.
It's actually easy. So Innoviz is a startup that started 5 years ago to develop solutions that will enable autonomous driving. Our first product in the market is a LiDAR, which is a 3D sensor. It's based on a laser scanner that gives the car the ability to see everything in 3D in very high resolution and in a very low cost.
Okay, I think that was good for 20 seconds. So basically, the long story, I met with Benedict Evans. You know who that is? He was at Andreessen Horowitz. Apparently, he was a mobile analyst. I met with him about 6 years ago, and I asked him, in his opinion, when will cars be fully autonomous? He said not before 10 years from now. So we're another 4 years to go. Okay. But okay, so first of all, we've been connected online for years. I don't know why we haven't met yet, but that's a topic for another time. Actually, who introduced us? Amir from Shempel Capital, who I work with. And basically, let me try to pitch it. Okay, here's my pitch. My pitch is that the entire world of autonomous driving is basically using cameras and radar to detect the surroundings. Both the camera and radar have serious limitations. For example, dark, rain. Imagine if you have a regular camera on the front of your car and it starts to rain and the lens gets full of water, the car can't see anything. So everybody's doing radar, everyone's doing cameras, and it is just not enough. And you guys are building LiDAR now. Other companies do have LiDAR. Like if you see a Google car in California, they have this big thing on the top of it. That's LiDAR. So before Innoviz, LiDAR was about this big. How big is it now? You have it here?
Yeah, I have it. 1 second.
All right. I'm going to show you what LiDAR of Innoviz is. This is the LiDAR of Innoviz.
This is our LiDAR. And you can actually also see it over there mounted within the car.
The whole thing. This is it. And what does this do? In really simple terms, what does this do exactly?
It's a laser scanner. So it shoots light, and basically what we do is once we shoot the light, the light meets a certain object and reflected back, and what we do is we measure the time it takes it to travel back and forth.
Got it.
And by doing that over and over across different pixels, we know how far things are, and we can create a 3D
Got it.
video.
So I know you're not objective, but is it fair to say that you are by far the most advanced LiDAR company in the market? By far?
I'm not biased at all.
No, not at all. but technologically speaking, right?
I think that definitely, we have the most mature product, the smallest and the highest performance, and we are, furthest ahead in manufacturing. We have 2 lines, production lines today. We have one in Germany.
Oh, really? Wow.
That is producing us units, and just recently we duplicated another line, bigger capacity in the US. So that is also an automotive certified site. And that will serve BMW and others.
Oh, great. So that was my next question. So before we get into your partnerships and everything, it's important to mention that you were in an intelligence unit in the army, and like many of the entrepreneurs in Israel, got your bug for entrepreneurship in the army. After the army, you went through several startups, one of which I think is just a crazy cool company. They built a product called SIO. The name of the company is Consumer Physics.
Yeah.
So you were there. They looked them up. Wild company, but that's not the topic for now. Then you decided it's about time you build something for this future of driving or riding autonomous cars. Now, why did I say you'd break every rule? From the time that you had an idea to build until the time you raised $1 million, how long did that take?
1 week.
1 week. Now, let's just be clear. The guy had an idea. Just an idea. We know how much ideas are worth. So the guy who invested in you, can you say who it is?
Yeah, sure. It's Zohar Ziv Elul. He's like the Bill Gates of Israel. He's the founding father of the high tech in Israel in many ways.
I don't know how. I should be ashamed that I don't know him. But more importantly, he invested in you, right? Because you didn't have a product yet. Since then, the company raised how much money? Before your IPO?
260.
Before the IPO, you raised $260 million?
Yeah.
$250 million. Okay, that's a lot of gumballs. But then, with all these SPACs that are happening, companies are going public, using basically a SPAC as a vehicle this play on words there. I mean, it's a financial vehicle by which a private company can go public without all the headache because it merges with a public company and they bring them public. I'm obviously oversimplifying, but Innoviz went public how long ago?
Almost 2 months.
2 months ago. And in the process of going public, how much money did you raise?
$370 million.
So you're about to hit $1 billion of funding. You're close.
Close, yes.
Wow, that's wild. Okay, so now let's talk partnerships. Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
So you have
some of them.
Okay, so tell me about the traction of the company.
Okay, so in the automotive space, you need to have a lot of partners. It's about, in order to be incorporated into a car, it takes a lot of effort and you need to have many counterparts, and it's about confidence, because in order for a car maker to decide to use their technology, they make a huge bet, because it takes many years to develop a car of validation. They invest hundreds of millions of dollars in bringing your technology to the market.
And it's a huge liability if it doesn't work.
Yeah. So we have several tier 1 partners. Those are companies like Magna. And
want to talk about that?
Yeah. This is exactly this is a car of BMW.
Yep.
And that's one of the programs that we are working on. We have a design win with BMW to develop their autonomous driving platform. This car was built by different sensors such as cameras, radars, and our LiDAR mounted down here.
Wow, that's amazing. That is just amazing.
Pretty
Holy
small.
cow. So, is it fair? And again, if this is something that we can't talk about publicly, I'll just cut it out. But is it fair to say that BMW will be the first company to release a fully autonomous vehicle? What's it called?
Level 3.
Level 3. So in my Volvo, I have level 2. Teslas are level 2 plus. But a fully autonomous car where you can literally sit and read a newspaper, BMW will be the first to market.
Yeah.
And they're going to be using your
Our LiDAR. I mean, people are already playing with their phones, so now it's safe. You know.
I'm saying, like, for in the Volvo, I have to touch the steering wheel every minute or something like that. So
Yeah,
I can't really just like look away. But
Because there's no redundancy there. And
so okay, I know the question that everyone's wondering. What's the story with Tesla? What are they doing? Do they build their own LiDAR? Like, how does that work?
no, Tesla, Tesla is selling cars that they developed a few years ago, and a few years ago there were no LiDARs available.
So there's no LiDAR in Tesla?
There's no LiDAR in Tesla. No.
Wow.
They only have cameras, and basically this leaves a lot of room for mistakes.
So why aren't they using you?
They should.
I'll call Elon.
No, I think definitely any car maker who wants to reach level 3 would need to use a LiDAR, and I think what we provide is probably the best solution. I think that the thing that surprises me the most, I have to say, is that I look up to Elon Musk. I think he's a brilliant person with open-minded, and I think he believes a lot in AI, and in general he believes in machines, right? And I find it very strange that what they're trying to do is basically clone a machine to human disabilities. The fact that they're using human way of thinking of how to drive and trying to replicate it by giving a machine vision is very limiting them. And I think that giving a machine 3D vision would really bring it to a next level. And I think that if I try to think about how the world would look like 100 years from today, I picture it with a machine that is better than me, not as me. And it's funny. I think about there used to be times where the most advanced technology in agriculture was a scarecrow. When we try to replicate ourselves into something that doesn't need our help. To me, it feels that people might feel that we feel uncomfortable thinking that we have disabilities, and trying to rely on vision sensors in many ways is really keeping the same disabilities we have. And
let me just explain what that means. I just want to be clear. A human being, right? If I'm outside and it's dark, I can't see anything. Now, by the way, I'm just going to this is not a good example, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like night mode on the new iPhones. Or, by the way, or the new Samsungs, these cameras, like they have abilities to actually see better than a human. Like if I take a picture at night, the picture will actually look better than I can see with my human eye. We are limited, right? We're limited, like darkness, rain, comes. So these other companies are building machines, like you said, to replicate human, abilities, but also our lack of ability or our restrictions, right? And so you're saying, no, I don't want to be as good as a human. I want to be better than a human.
Definitely.
Unbelievable. Okay, so. Like I said, you raised close to $1 billion. Now you're a public company. How does that feel? What's that like? Is it very different, or are you just doing your thing?
Look, we've been around for 5 years, and I can say that probably every year we feel a transition, right? I mean, from a company that is innovating an idea to a company that is developing a technology to develop a product, and then to ramp up a production line and multiple customers, and every year we need to kind of like face new challenges as a company.
Reinvent yourself.
And I think this is obviously another step there. And now becoming public, I'm sure that we will learn how to do it well.
When you rang the bell, you did that on NASDAQ?
We did here.
What do you mean, you're public here?
No, yeah, I mean, we made a celebration in the office. We replicated the NASDAQ desk.
Are you public on NASDAQ?
Yeah.
So why didn't you ring the bell there?
I wanted to do it with the team.
Oh, okay, that's cool. By the way, I'm seeing other brands in this garage right now. Do you have relationships with them too?
Let's keep this one.
Just BMW. I'm not going to talk about what cars I see over there because there are other brands, but BMW is on the record. Okay, dude, this is unbelievable. By the way, I have to mention that, and it pains me to say this because all the success you've achieved, you basically don't have a marketing team. You have one VP marketing in the States and a person here in marketing, and that's it. So you achieved all of this technological, like it's just purely product and technology, not marketing, which is just crazy.
Look, I think that we chose a challenge which is really very much focused on trying to solve very difficult problems, and that is basically what eventually matters.
Right.
But we always can do things better.
Right. And also the story of how it started, how you kind of, in the beginning you were like, maybe let's take things off the shelf. You're like, okay, this isn't going to work, and you literally said to your team, guys, scrap everything. We're starting from scratch, building everything, and literally the LiDAR it's all proprietary. It's all in-house. You're not. That's unbelievable. Anyway, dude, super awesome to meet you. Very long overdue. Anything I can do to help, let me know. I'm pretty blown away by this company. I mean, honestly, like, after all these years working in the tech ecosystem in Israel, the fact that I know Innoviz already for years, but like yesterday I met two companies I never even heard of, blew my mind. Like, it's unbelievable how many freaking crazy tech companies are in this country. Innoviz is one of them. In any case, don't forget the little people. No, but really, if anything I can do, you let me know. And yeah, just keep rocking, man. You're building the future. This right where we are right now is when you hear about it. Let me just be very clear. When all of us talk about autonomous vehicles and autonomous driving and the future of transportation, it's being built right here because no one else, because you can't have an autonomous car without LiDAR, and nobody else in the world, no other company in the world is building a LiDAR even close to as sophisticated as Innoviz's LiDAR. So literally, when we're going to be in our cars in the future, in 5 years, 10 years, and we're going to be sitting in the backseat reading a newspaper, chances are the car will be powered by Innoviz. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, and I want to make a comment on that because I think that the public, they're familiar with autonomous driving through commercials where you see people like lay back, you hear music, etc. But if you open the curtain for a second, what really is behind making it happen is really, really hard work.
Right.
I mean, it's those less sexy things that are related to testing it over and over,
right,
going into the fine details of vibration, and really kind of, it is really a huge, rigorous testing, right, and eventually we want people to feel safe when they use that platform. So I want people that once they have an Innoviz inside their car, they can actually feel that they can disengage and enjoy it.
Innoviz inside, right?
Yeah, Innoviz inside.
It's amazing. I just want to, you said to me before, I told you I started my career as a technical writer, so I wrote all about redundancy, right? So when you have, let's say, I don't know what, cloud infrastructure, you have whatever, data warehouse, you need redundancy, because if one thing falls, you can't afford to have your whole system go down, so you have redundancy. But when it comes to driving, redundancy is literally a matter of life and death. Yeah. And so you said you want people to feel safe. The companies have to, you have to feel safe because people will be dying. If not, it's a matter of life and death. So, like you said, the margin between, even today, like you look at self-driving cars, the margin is not big enough. Yes, it's safer than human driving, and all of, the car accidents on the road are all human error. And so it's maybe a little bit better, but the leap that we have to take for this to be mainstream, critical mass on the road is a massive leap. And that's what Innoviz is building, basically. Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, dude, you're going to tell me if I can help with anything? Keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing, and I'm super happy we got to meet. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Okay, just finished eating lunch in this amazing restaurant in Rishon LeZion. I don't think I've ever been in the city. I've been in the city. I've never been to this restaurant, but this is one of the happiest meetings I've had in a very long time. So first of all, let's just start with this. I basically owe my entire career to this guy.
Oh my God.
Ziv Elul is the CEO now of Fiber. Before that, it was Interactive. Do you remember what number employee I was in the company?
16 or so?
Makes sense. Okay, so I joined the company back then, mobile advertising. There was 2 exits, right?
Right.
First exit was how much?
86.
$86 million. And yesterday, 24 hours ago, the news came out that you guys closed the final exit of, drum roll please,
600 million.
$600 million. Let me tell you something. I have never been happier for an entrepreneur in my life. Let me tell you why. Ziv and his co-founder, Offer, who lives in Palo Alto, right? Palo Alto, right?
Neil.
Not in Palo Alto?
No.
Yeah, okay. So every time I meet him in Palo Alto. These guys, they founded the company in 2007. and have been literally just working their butts off, like 20 hours a day for the past 15 years. Literally, like I've never seen entrepreneurs work this hard. It is unbelievable. Tell me about the acquisition. Who bought you? Tell me all about it. Tell me the story.
Wow. The acquisition is by a public company.
Yeah.
On the name of Digital Touring.
Yep.
It just happened really quick. It was not planned to be. We had few options. We knew that we wanted to do something strategic.
Who was the first acquisition though?
The first one, the one that we had, it was Fiverr, which is RTS Media.
That's why. And then you became the CEO.
Yes, after the deal.
Hold on one second. That's important to mention because that's not something that happens often. That a company acquires another company, and the CEO of the acquired company becomes the CEO of the acquiring company. I haven't heard of such a thing in my life, but okay, that was Fiverr. Now, Digital Turbine, okay.
Right, and it's a great company, and we felt that we want to be part of a strategic company, and not only to have as a company the day-to-day dealing with going after publishers by ourselves, and wanted to do something strategic, and they were a great fit for us.
$600 million.
Yes.
Unbelievable. How much money did the company raise from beginning to?
Wow, it's a different story because both of the companies are public.
Right.
The RTS Media, which is Fiverr of today.
Oh, but Interactive, how much did Interactive raise?
Interactive, back then, it was 8.5 million.
That's it? That's all you raised?
That's all, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
From? Who's the investors?
We had
Carmel?
not Carmel. We had Evergreen.
Right.
Back then, today, most of them are in Qumran. But the Digan was the one that...
I remember that. Yeah, okay. And who else?
One of the, I also some of private investors, Modi Kidon,
right.
Idan Offer, Udi Ilma,
Tal Bar-Noach
some others. Tal Bar-Noach, no, but he was involved in
I remember, I met him at Interactive. Now we're good friends.
He's a great guy. I love him a lot.
Powerhouse.
Yeah,
so listen,
great guy.
We just had a whole conversation about taking a rest. This guy, he can't rest. He just sold his company for $600 million and he's back at work like 20 hours a day. Like, explain it to me. Why don't you just take 6 months off and enjoy life a little bit?
I can't. If you're a founder and you are a founder by yourself, you have rest. So rest.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm the same way. I can't stop. People say to me, "You stop, take a rest." I can't rest. I love this stuff.
No, I see, it's not only me. It's me and the management. Offer, which is amazing, and we are good friends.
The best.
We have, it's a mission. It's a mission in your life. It's not about money. It's about, impact.
Right.
Doing something not only for yourself, it's for the community, it's for the world.
Right.
The better use of what of the time. That's
right.
the way I look at this. And everything in life is about balance.
Right.
Thanks God I have the Shabbat, which I'm resting. I have Sunday afternoon, which is the time with the kids. We have 3 Sundays together. One Sunday is for the YPO afternoon that they have with the other CEOs. And that's the time for the family. And obviously, I'm trying now, also thanks to the COVID, to have the balance with the family. And we learned a lot and more. I'm a much more flexible person than before.
Okay, that's good. So talk to me a little bit about the product. So it started off, Interactive began as a gaming company, correct?
Right.
In-game ads?
It was just an ad network at the beginning.
In the beginning, okay. And then
it became to be just a platform, which is the Interactive that is the exchange together with mediation. And then with acquisition, it became to be Fiverr, which we had 3 main product lines. One of them is for Offer in the platform. The second was the mediation, which is Fuld, and the exchange, which is the marketplace for Fiverr. We had 3 product lines, and we started the integration for strategic partnership thanks to Matt from Digital Touring. Offer knew him, and they started to work together. And thanks to this partnership, it became to be an acquisition at the end. Everything in life is about relationship,
Telling me.
And you need technology behind it. It's not only relationship, right? So the good news that we had 3 different potential acquirers, and it was not the intention even to be acquired. And when you look for acquisition, doesn't mean that it will happen. Right? And you don't want to go to, your strategy is not about someone to acquire you. You want to build a company. And so, you just came to an acquisition, which is great.
Give me some thought. I want to hear a little bit. I know you obviously can't share too much of a public company, but talk to me about growth, because you said the company went through a really big evolution from what it was to what kind of numbers, whatever you can tell me that's not confidential. How many developers? What can you tell me about how big the company is?
Before the acquisition or after?
Not digital turbine.
For fiber.
Yeah.
I think it's about strategic. You need first to have a strategic change in the company, and one of the things that the management was doing at the beginning when we started was to decide that it's fine to go down in the revenues, but just to work on a different strategic path. And it means, to just take a hard decision. And it's not that easy to take hard decisions, especially when it comes to money and to explain to the market and to the shareholders.
You have a team.
It's fine to go down.
Right.
You prefer to be happy. So it started by the decision of working on a strategic avenue, to have a technology and assets for the future. That's one thing. The second thing was to increase the investment on the technology piece, and we went up on the tech investment. And Galavi, which is the CTO, he got more engineers, and today in the company, half of the company are engineers and product. So it goes both. In one end, you have efficiencies in the G&A.
Right.
On the other hand, you increase the investment on the tech side, engineers, and to have a strategic path. And just to be patient. I know it's hard, but you just need to be patient.
Patience is not my strong suit.
I know. But still, that's. You ask me what can help in growth. There are 4 components. You need to invest in people, technology, to look forward to be profitable, even if it does mean that you need to be now profitable, and to invest in growth, to make sure that no matter what you do, it's in order to create this growth.
Profitability and
behind
growth.
it.
Profitability and growth are like contradictions.
That's correct. And that's what I'm saying. You might not be profitable now, but the path is for growth.
Path to profitability. Got it. I got it.
But it's just a state of mind.
So, for those watching, I just want to take a step back for 1 second, because like Ziv's using all these words, exchange, and all these things, and I happen to know them because I worked for him. But it's a whole world out there. And just to give you like really high level context, we all have apps on our phones, right? We all consume all this, entertainment and whatever it may be. Somebody built that. A mobile developer worked his butt off or her butt off to build that app. How do they make money? Think about your phone right now. How many apps have you downloaded for pay? How many apps have you paid for? Me? Maybe 5. Maybe 5. People don't pay for apps. What percentage of apps are free?
Less than 10%.
Are paid.
Yeah.
So over 90% are free downloads. People don't pay for apps. It's just a fact. Okay? So how are these developers supposed to make money? Well, there's a few options. We know, how does content get monetized in the world? The Wall Street Journal puts up a paywall. That's the worst user experience ever. I click on a link from Twitter, I end up in the Wall Street Journal, I can't read it. That's the worst experience. So paywalls, as far as I'm concerned, is garbage. And even though the New York Times, they do it because they don't know how to monetize. So they're doing paywalls. That's, in my opinion, throw it out the window. Now, advertising, it's become a dirty word. But if you remember, how old are you?
45.
Okay, so I'm 42, you're 45. When we were kids, advertising used to be sexy.
Right.
The Super Bowl, right? You buy magazines for their ads. Like, who has the best advertising? The ads used to be amazing. Comes along this device, and it has the potential to improve advertising exponentially. Why? Because this device knows me, it knows where I am, it knows what I like, it knows everything about me. And what did we do? Stupid, crappy banner ads. Totally not intelligent advertising, not personalized advertising, none of that. So whoever, and this guy did, is able to crack that and bring advertising back to the way it used to be, which is good, and it doesn't ruin the user experience. That's because today, like it or not, if you're building a startup, you have to decide between good user experience or monetization. Either I put crappy ads and I'll make some money from fat thumbs that people click on them by accident, or I'll build an amazing ad that people love. You gotta choose. Unless you use a company that doesn't make you compromise on quality of user experience and helps you monetize. And that's basically the high level philosophy behind the whole world of mobile advertising. How'd I do?
That's correct, amazing. You can come back to work for your fiber now and now for digital turbine.
Speaking of that, and then I'll let you go, because I know I have to like put a gun to his head to get him on camera, but I'm just gonna say one thing. I don't have regrets in my career. I really don't. Like, I don't lose sleep over it. I made decisions, and whenever I made a decision, I made a decision for a reason. There have been 2 companies, one that sold for $1 billion, one that sold for hundreds of millions of dollars, that offered me to join early, and I didn't join. And I didn't buy my options in this company. 3 of my biggest, quote unquote, I don't regret, but it pinches a little bit.
No, you shouldn't. Don't look back.
It's not what it's not what drives
it's
me.
just for learning. But
We share
always
that.
Look for forward.
Yeah, we share in common that I think neither one of us is driven by money.
That's correct.
Right? Anyway, Ziv, super duper happy for you. Like,
Thank you.
incredibly happy for you.
Thanks God.
But please take a
Thanks
break.
God.
Thank God.
It's amazing, It's amazing
Also,
what we see. It's just miracles.
It is important. I want to say this because I think this is beautiful, that you actually, you were always religious. Right? You always since I knew you, you were religious, but you were more religious inside than outside.
That's correct.
Like in the last how many years have you become stronger in your faith?
Last 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Because you used to wear a kippah all the time.
No.
Now he's more religious than I am. That's for
No,
sure. That's
no
for
way.
sure. Not even a question. Ziv,
Religious.
Masal
It's
Tov.
about your belief.
I agree.
That's more important.
Listen.
Just be human being. That's more important than anything else. And you are.
Amen. Amen. First of all,
All is
Masal
good.
Tov. First of all. Second of all, please take a break a little bit, even for a couple of days, man. Just take a chill. Just like I can't. It hurts me. You're working so hard. It's like enough. You sold the company for $600.
That's fine. I'm energetic. It's good.
I know. You love what you do. That's the most important.
That's correct. And I'm really happy also to be part of digital program. This is the new journey for us.
Where's their headquarters, by the way?
Which is the CEO,
Houston.
which is great, and the team that
Houston's-
we have in the team, all great, which encourage me.
Where's their headquarters?
It's in Austin, Texas. I did it for the first time, just a month ago.
I had not for now, but I worked with a startup, and I went to meet the mayor of Austin. And I pitched him on the startup. Whatever, it's a whole long
You'll
story.
hear more about the team.
Huh?
Digital Tourism, the company, called it DT. You'll hear much more in the near future. They do great stuff.
Let me know if I can help with anything. It goes without saying, but really, if I can ever help with anything, I don't think you need any help. But if,
No, we need always.
if ever I can do anything, because I really believe, like you, before I joined Interactive, I had a job, but it wasn't in tech. I was working in finance. My first, remember who came to meet me to recruit me? Sandy.
Right.
I'm working with her now. I'm working with her now in her new company.
She's great.
So she came actually to Rosh Hashanah, where I actually was this morning, and she said to me, "What are you doing in finance? Come to tech." And that was my first Interactive, my first job in tech. I remember, by the way, you might not remember this, but I remember this. First day on the job, you called me into your office. I was head of marketing. You said, "How are we gonna bring developers?" And I said, "I'm gonna start a blog for the company." And you're like, "What?" And I said, "I'm gonna start a blog, and I'm not even gonna talk about ourselves on the blog. I'm gonna talk about the industry. We're gonna become a." And within a couple of months, the Interactive blog was quoted alongside TechCrunch, and it was a real authority. It became a thing. So I think that this is a good proof that that content works. In any case,
Thank you,
my friend.
Thank you.
Really, really happy for you. Seriously.
Shabbat Shalom.
What day is it today? It's Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Ziv, I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you.
Super
I
happy
know.
for you.
I know.
Tell
Love you,
Offer,
man.
tell Offer I love him. Tell Offer I'm really happy for him and Liron also.
I will.
But you have to tell him to get back to Israel. He told me he could buy a Tesla here now. He doesn't need to stay in Palo Alto. All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Made it home. What a day today was. What a week. Amazing. Next week, I have pretty much every single day jam-packed with meetings. See you then.